Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another Linocut video, and as you can see from the intro, we're doing Mothman today, a cryptid who originated in West Virginia in the 60s, I believe. So yeah, let's get started. As usual, as you can see, I've drawn out my little drawing of Mothman here. And first things first, taking a piece of tracing paper, and I'm just going to go over him and trace him out before I put it onto the Linocut. Alright, and just like that, we have this transferred to the tracing paper. And just like last time, I'm going to take my block here, I'm going to flip this around so the thing I just drew is on there, going to line it up, just so, and I'm just going to take this roller, just roll it across the whole thing, and that should transfer the graphite. And boom, that worked even better. I should have used the roller last time. That worked really well. And so now I'm just going to go over everything again, just with a Sharpie, touch up like that area a little bit and stuff, make sure it's a little more symmetrical, and yeah, we'll get going. Alright, so next up, before I actually start the carving, I'm just going to go over all the lines again, this time with Sharpie, a little more permanent now that I kind of got everything fixed the way I like it, looking good. I don't want it to be perfectly symmetrical, because, you know, he is a creature, he's moving around, he's not perfect. Okay, so just like last time, I got my chisels here. One's a little finer, one's for taking out bigger chunks. And everything that's black in this area that I kind of just crossed over, that's what's staying, that's what's going to get printed. So I'm going to cut out all this white and like the wings, cut out the eyes, and this whole background area. I think this part around, I don't know what the moths, I don't think they're called antenna, but I could be wrong. Whatever these things are, I think that's going to be a little difficult. I'll have to be really careful. But I'm just going to do the border of Mothman before I start working away at some of the finer details. Alright, so it's a little hard to see from a distance, but I've drawn kind of a protective outline around him. I outline these for now just to protect him, have something to block the larger chisel. And now I'm just going to work on this big background area, just getting that cleared out with my big chisel. I think these things are called chisels. I don't know. I do a lot of woodworking on the side, so similar enough to the chisels that I use there that I'm just going to call these chisels. Anyone who wants to tell me I'm wrong is welcome to. And alright, we got the background pretty much chiseled out. Obviously I'll touch it up as I go back along this. But I think now I'm going to tackle the part I'm dreading the most, which is these antenna thingies. Whew, wish me luck, guys. I could see myself very easily screwing this up, but let's hope that doesn't happen and it turns out good. Positive thinking. Okay, that was a little nerve-wracking. I feel better about this one than this one, but I don't know, hopefully it'll turn out. I can always try to fix things up when I'm printing. We'll see. Fingers crossed it'll all work out. Okay, whew, that took a lot of concentration from me. All right, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is just start getting this white out of the wings, go between his legs, and yeah, we'll do that next. Thanks for bearing with me through that. I didn't feel like it was an overly detailed drawing, but once I started carving it, definitely felt that way. Whew, those little black dots in the wings, those were tough, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, it's pretty much done. I think I'm gonna touch around some of the edges and stuff, tighten those up, and I'm gonna add a little, and I'll show the drawing again. Kind of that fringed necklace, couple little details on Mothman. Decided I'm not gonna carve the eyes. The more I thought about it, the more I kind of remembered how he's always has those red eyes, and that's just part of like the story that goes along with Mothman. So what I'm thinking, I'm not totally sure, but using like a pencil eraser like this, I think if I just got a little red paint on that, once I've printed everything else, I can get the red eyes that I want. So yeah, let's finish this and then get it printed. And voila, I think, at least for now, I'm happy with how it's looking. I think I'm gonna get my ink prepared and give it a print. Fingers crossed, those turn out good. All right, so this is the ink I'm gonna be using. Those of you who watched the last video remember that the ink I had was pretty dried up and dead. So I went to an art store, bought some new stuff. They didn't have black. Unfortunately, they ran out, so what's this, violet? I guess we're using violet today. Open it up. It's got one of those little silver tabs. And just gonna put a tiny dab on that. Reading, you really don't need that much. And I don't want to waste it because, oh, you can see the price tag. Not exactly the cheapest art supply. All right, so now, just gonna spread it out on my little plate. I know some people use glass and stuff. I don't have that. Oh, that's an awful sound. I don't like that sound. I don't know if that camera's picking up, but it's very squeaky. It's a lot more purple than I was expecting. Oh, wow. A nice even coat on the roller here. And all right. Do my first one on just a sheet of printer paper. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna roll up my sleeves because I don't want this ink all over me. Even though it is water-based, I still don't want it getting all over my clothes because that's a pain in my ass. Ugh, stupid button. All right. Okay. So let's roll it out. Get a nice even coat on him. Oops. Well, luckily this is just practice. All right. We'll call that good for the first one. Flip them over. And got this other roller. Let's put some pressure down, make sure it all prints. Do all parts. And let's peel it away. Ah, it's sticking. But ooh, I like that. I think it's fun. I'm gonna leave those kind of streaks that you can see there. It turned out pretty good, pretty decent. I'm happy enough with it, and I'm not gonna really change it. I think really just gotta make sure I got a good coat on the wings and stuff. Maybe a little more ink. I'm gonna do it on a nicer sheet of paper now and just. Actually, I'm gonna touch up that wing a little bit. I'm not quite happy with that. Just shave away a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna print it again one last time. Do that, and yeah, we'll see how that turns out. All right, I've re-inked Mr. Moth here, and I have my printing paper. So we're just gonna lay it down gently there. Take our other roller. Just roll on the back. All right, Mr. Mothman. Hopefully this one prints better. All right, peel it back and see. Okay. Looks better. Happy with the wing. I think that turns out better. I still want to, I don't know, get a better print, I guess. I'm happy enough with that one, but I think it could be better. I'm gonna try a little experimenting with the ink. Get one that I'm happy with and would be happy doing the eyes for. All right, I added a little more ink because I can't tell if that's my problem or not, to be honest with you. I'm not experienced with this. I'm just kind of messing around. All right, well, let's give it a try anyways. All right, make sure I do a good even roll. I don't know if that was my problem. I'm just gonna try to fix everything I can to get a good print. I don't know, I should probably do more research on how to do the actual printing. Okay, I'm happy enough with that one to be my kind of one that I'm gonna experiment with the red on. Kind of like all the little details here and there and the little mess up stuff. So yeah. I'm gonna let that dry and I'll come back and add the red eyes in a little bit. Promised. I gave Mothman his signature red eyes. I ended up using the end of the pencil eraser like I said I might. Honestly, it wasn't terrific. I think I'm gonna have to find a better solution if I want to print more of these. I also think it would look better with black ink instead of this violet. I don't hate the violet, but I think the red would contrast better against the black. But anyways, here's the Mothman print. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.